And we've got a good one coming up at 174. These guys have some history. They've wrestled this year. Myles Martin, the freshman, up against Bo Nickal, also the freshman. Myles Martin was going to redshirt this year. And when they wrestled last, he was still redshirting. It was in an open tournament. Bo Nickal winning 4-3. Very active match. And Bo Nickal, the redshirt freshman out of Texas, and ranked #1. Here he comes.
Boy, is he fun to watch. So Myles Martin, a guy that I was impressed with in the match we did earlier on BTN, and nice low attacks and pretty basic. And you can see how this would be a good style matchup here for a close match. Nickal, he's one of those guys in the practice room. You see him warming up and all that. You can't keep your eyes off him. He just does gymnastics types of cartwheels and flips and yeah, he just the way he moves out there. He reminds me of the great Russian wrestler Satiev. You know, just the way he's built. He wrestles at a high plane. He can also go down to the ankles if he wants to. But it'd be fun to watch him for the next 4 years.
Well, and it might not be at this weight. You look at that body there, and I was kind of wondering who McIntosh would be replaced with at 197. And I'm not so sure that Nickal doesn't have the body to leapfrog over McCutcheon at 184 and be the 97-pounder next year. Look at that. He's got a frame on him.
Yeah, I saw his parents today. They're obviously tall, and they're, like I said, he could put a lot of meat on that frame, but he's learned how to wrestle at the lower weight here. I think that's advantageous. Martin is disciplined. You know, he doesn't get out of position very often. He likes to go ahead and stay right there in the center of the mat. He will attack below the knee. That's where he's favored. You kind of see his vision right now is a little high. Now he looks low.
Martin out of Penns Grove, New Jersey. Just last year, he was starring for McDonough School. Opportunity to be at a great institution like McDonough, and here he is 1 year later in front of almost 16,000 fans at Bryce Jordan Center, going up against Bo Nickal, the redshirt freshman out of Allen, Texas, Allen High School. 22-1, ranked #1. He was upset by Indiana's Nate Jackson, well, which is one of Myles Martin's wins this year.
Yeah, Tim, the thing about a guy like Nickal is that so much of his technique requires the other guy to be pushing in on him. You can see now Martin doesn't want anything to do with those hips right there. No sale, right? Take the cheese out of the trap, all right? I'm not taking it. So stuff the head right there. So Martin being very disciplined and under balance even when he's in on the leg there, doesn't do any extra pushing. And so all those moves that have brought Bo Nickal this #1 ranking are guys that have gone ahead and taken the shot, tried to double leg him, do it, and then all of a sudden you get these spectacular moves. Well, the higher you climb in those rankings, you get the opponents are a little bit more cautious of what you bring to the table, and it's pretty well documented out there with flow and all the other ways you can see Big Ten Plus and all the ways you can see these guys wrestle. They understand these good coaches out here can say, hey, we're not going to attack him the way he has been attacked early part of the season. So it's a challenge for Nickal to get his offense off.
They met earlier in the year. It's 4-3, a win for Bo Nickal, and it's every bit as tight here at Bryce Jordan Center. At the end of the first period, it's all tied up 0-0. They stayed neutral, and Myles Martin, the true freshman, will choose down to begin this second period.
Remember, gentlemen, once I set the top, guys.
Nickal looking back to his corner. See
stay still, you're set. Top. Go ahead.
What he should look a little strategy here, but just going to basically try to stay in the top position. Tries to put the leg in,
and he catches it.
Yeah.
Myles Martin not letting Nickal get in the first time.
Right now he's got to come to that crawl. Right now he takes him straight back. These are potential back points. He does have a count going. Only one. And referee
Jeff Cook does not call it.
Yeah. He had a thumb up as the signal. Now Cale Sanderson's going to go over and ask for a stoppage and get another look at this. Again.
And so Jeff Cook, from the reaction and on his own, wants to take a look at the video review to see if there's indisputable evidence that it was.
And this will be a little bit different look than what that we have. And A little bit more of an aerial shot. Okay, you can see that he's got that claw right. Takes him straight back. We're going to get a pretty good look at whether there's potentially back points right there. Might have been. You see the official has to travel all the way around, and probably just one there. It was close. I don't see him overturning it. Better angle. Okay. You could start a count right there.
But not.
I think he
and then
quickly got over.
Yeah.
You know what he did there? He's brought his bicep up by his ear and then turned his belt buckle to the ground, and the shoulders followed. So it's I think it's going to be a pretty tough call to overturn. And we rarely see an official overturn their own call, but one more angle. Takes it back. We'll get the final count right here. One. You see how he immediately gets his belt buckle to the ground, all right? And that's pretty tough to get that turn right there. Emotional reaction by the Penn State bench, but
and if it was called, I doubt if it would be turned over the other way, but it wasn't called.
Good point. So
very close, and
they're looking at it and pretty. You see the angle that both officials have. See, I just think this is a great place for a State Farm ad. The double check.
And that's exactly what they're doing. And so, hey, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, so.
Tom Ryan knows that this is really an important match for him to stay in this and to have an opportunity for the upset over the #1 ranked Penn State Nittany Lions if the Nittany Lions win. And the call is not overturned. It will remain no points there. But Penn State will, with a win, be right back here on Sunday, the 21st, 5 o'clock Eastern time for the NWCA Championship duels live on the Big Ten Network. Right now it would be North Carolina State, but they have to get through a couple of tough opponents, whether it's going to be Missouri or Oklahoma State or North Carolina State. It's going to be a dynamite dual meet if it's right here at Penn State. If not, it'll be at Iowa.
Well, that was three good solid efforts for an escape by Myles Martin. Comes back up to his feet again. He's whiffing on the hand control. And now he gives up the reversal. Yep.
Myles Mettler gets the reversal, kind of off the action of Bo Nickal.
Yep.
Nice job on the rotating of the hips by Myles Martin.
Well, he felt where Nickal was going. That was about the third time he felt that back trip. And for Nickal's going to take that type of risk. That's what he does.
Same as an escape anyway. There was no riding time. It's 2-1, and it'd be the same as if it was 1-0. Less than a minute left in the second period. And they're back on their feet. Nickal and Myles Martin. They went earlier this year in an open. Nickal winning 4-3. At that time, Myles Martin thought he was going to stay redshirted, but the Ohio State Buckeyes pulled him out. Kyle Snyder, the world champion, we'll see at heavyweight later. He's out, and Ohio State right in the thick of things.
Like Shane said earlier in the year when we did the Ohio State meet, they made the decision to put all their chips in the center. And with the stallions that the Lions have in their room, the future looks bright for. Nice high crotch there, head to the outside. He's got to try to get his head come out the backside. A little scramble action there. Now Nickal has the advantage. Martin trying to cut the corner.
Nickal want to pop his head.
3 seconds left. No points.
No points, and that's the end of the second period. One side of the Bryce Jordan did not see what we saw, and Myles Martin still had that leg. It was the correct call. Bo Nickal will go down, the #1 ranked 174-pounder.
Well, the timing on that shot was excellent for Martin. He just needed to go ahead and cut the corner and maybe switch to a double a little faster. And like I said, against a tall, lanky guy like that, if you can go ahead and don't try to switch to it. Now that's points right there. That's points. Yep, he's going to get 2.
2 points, back points for Myles, and
another
back in. Bo Nickal for 2-point takedown.
Yeah.
So an escape for Nickal, 2 points for Nickal. Now it is 4-4.
And there should be a count being given right now for against Nickal, but none. Now they're going to go off the edge. So Riding time up to 43 seconds now, 44 seconds in favor of Nickal.
One escape.
What a scramble there. Martin getting the 2 points. I thought the official was a little slow at getting back there to those back points because it was more than a 2 count.
Yeah.
But he gets the 2 count, and it was 2 points back. And then Nickal scrambling out for the 1 and right back in on the shot for the takedown on the ankles. Score 4-4, and Martin needs to understand where he's at because Nickal certainly does. He needs 10 more seconds of riding time.
Nice scramble there by Martin, getting that standing switch.
And the riding time, and he gets it. He knows exactly where he is.
Boy, what poise by the young wrestlers here. Both guys, Martin's shot at the end of the period, the second period, and then the job that Nickal did getting back in on the shot on the escape takedown.
And it's all tied up.
Yeah.
5-4 on the score, but the riding time in favor of Bo Nickal.
Shot for Nickal. Going to come up. There's going to be some action here, guys. Front trip.
2 points, Bo Nickal.
Great finish on that. Martin in a little trouble now, but great finish on that technique. He got all the way behind. Martin's nose was over his toes, so he went with the front trip. Secure the takedown. Now you don't want to be too hard up here. You don't want to give Martin another shot. Now he's getting back points of his own. 4. Excellent match.
Bo Nickal, number 1, proves why he's the winner.
You know, Tim, the more you wrestle this guy, the more points are put up. I mean, you really got to pick and choose.
Bo Nickal with a takedown that wins it for him, and we'll be back with more BTN Wrestling presented by Cliff Keen Athletic, and coming up,